There's Pete.
There's Pete.
Yeah. All right, I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot.
The hat,
Fired up.
Pete. Love it.
Moses, I just sent everybody a text. I'll have to put you on the text. I dropped you off of it for some reason. I don't know why. You're not. Listen, you're high up in my stratosphere, just so you know that. So don't take it personally, all right? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother. I love the hat. I love the support. Love it.
You know, listen, I'm like your backup. I'm like your assistant coach with the RV, right? I'm an assistant RV setup person. That's it. Into Vandy, you know.
That's a sweet. I gotta
So
get.
today we're talking about lead generation, people. Wait for more. Let me just make sure we got nobody sitting there in the.
Let's give it a minute and let everybody kind of get on and thaw out from the New Year's sleepover, and we'll get rolling, right, Mitch?
Yep, that's the plan.
So the updates from the Alpha meeting, just so you know.
What's that?
I just sent everybody a text on the updates from the Alpha meeting that we received.
I got you. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just keep everybody in tune.
Yes, and if you heard me sing, you know I cannot sing in tune.
It's okay, Mitch. We know it's your birthday next week. We can give you the benefit of the doubt. Look at Tracy Fellows is here. So I want to introduce Tracy Fellows. I'm super excited about her and her group joining. She's the Fellows Luxury Group out of LA. They deal with a lot of celebrities. They're like the $1 million listing people up in LA who really do all the deals. And they're joining EXP Luxury, and I'm super, super excited to have her as part of the Playbook Mastermind and share all her expertise and all her experience. So Tracy, we just wanted to welcome you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I feel like I know you all because I've been on every Thursday master class. I had a chance to meet Matt in person this December, so I felt like I was meeting a rock star, and I usually don't get excited over celebrities, but I just feel like I've gotten to know you all, and I started learning so much from all of you, and I hope that I could add some value for my years of grinding away all these years.
Awesome.
That's going to be great. It's going to be great. Thank you so much for joining us and for contributing and collaborating with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Wanted to say thanks to Mitch too. He and I had a call late last month, and just excited to talk with all of you at some point. So thank you so much, Pete. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, Happy New Year. We're so excited to have you on board and your team and Dwayne and everybody else. I love you guys. I think you're going to do great. And I think it's a feather in our hat having you, especially with DXP Luxury up there in LA. So that's great.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Mitch, let's kick it off. I think we have to get rolling here. We have to break into the new year and start talking about lead generation and really kick off the production talk. I want to start off with a guy who's not bragging. He's just looking for a job, Matt Battiata. Happy New Year. Matty, what are you doing right now to really generate leads and not just lead generation, but just to really get production up and rolling? The last few weeks we've seen interest rates drop and it kind of sparked the market a little bit, but we had the holidays that slowed us down too. So what are you doing right now to really launch lead generation into 2024?
So thank you, Pete. My attitude for 2024, first off, because I think it all starts with mindset, is, you know what? And I primarily go after listings, but of course, all things in my view flow from listings, right? Including buyers. So I'm going after clients in general. But my attitude for 2024 is really that, we may still have low inventory. So the pie that we are all going after might be smaller. But in my view, that just means that I need to just go after it that much harder, right? So I'm going to get my slice of the pie. It might end up being a smaller slice than what I would get if everybody was, putting their homes on the market. But I know from experience that, you do nothing and you get nothing. So my attitude is I got to really go extra hard after listings. So in that vein, I started doing some TV advertising literally the day after Christmas, number one. I'm doing my normal direct mail. I'm doing some YouTube advertising. And, obviously everybody on this call is not going to do TV advertising. It doesn't make any difference. I built my business for years and years. I was looking at Brian back when I had the good fortune of having Brian as a coach, Brian Moses. I did tons of direct mail, right? And tons of just picking up the phone. In fact, I spent most of yesterday just calling past clients, right? Wishing them a happy new year and talking about what their plans are for 2024, et cetera. If they know anybody that's interested in buying or selling. The big thing, no matter what kind of lead generation you're going to do, whether it's direct mail or getting on the phones, calling expires, et cetera, is what is your pitch, right? So everything works. If you're getting in front of people, whether it's them looking at a postcard before they toss it in the trash or seeing something on YouTube or seeing something on social media, what is it? What is your sales pitch, your unique selling proposition, right? Your USP. What is it that you're offering that's going to differentiate you from the millions of other agents that everybody knows, right? So to me, that's the most important thing. All marketing works as long as prospects are seeing it. The question is what you're offering, differentiating you enough from your competition, right? So, and I'm always experimenting with different ones. So I'll tell you some of the USPs that I'm using at the moment. Back when we were in lockdown, I started saying, look, I can sell your house in one weekend. No signs, no open houses, no multiple days of showings, right? So that seemed to resonate really, really well with people because during COVID, people didn't like to have, lots of people coming through their homes. Well, guess what? They still don't like that. Nobody likes to have their house on the market. So I'm still doing, we'll sell your home in one weekend with multiple offers. I have I have contractors that I've made agreements with, painters, landscapers, people that do kitchen counters, et cetera, that are willing for my clients to do the work and get paid at close of escrow. So one of the things I'm using in my pitch is that, you can get up to $25,000 to prepare your home for sale. Now and all that means, by the way, it doesn't mean I'm going to write them a check for 25 grand, although I would if I had to, but really what it means is I'm going to have my contractors do whatever work we need to get your house ready to sell. And you don't have to come out of pocket to pay them. You can just pay them at close of escrow. So, I also was doing some handwritten postcards before the holidays that I sent out that said, guarantee your home sold in under 28 days at your price, or I'll pay you the difference. I got a phone call 2 days ago from somebody that got that postcard before the holidays and said, hey, I got this card in the mail. I'm thinking of selling my property and, it sounds too good to be true, but I just want to get the details. Now, with all these programs, no matter whether you're saying I'll sell your home in under, 30 days, or I'll pay your price, or I'll pay you the difference, or, I'll sell you, it doesn't matter. I used to say I'll sell your home in 29 days, or I'll pay you $1,000. You make the, you make the guidelines for all of these programs. So, back in the old days, in fact, Pete, when I met you and Dennis and Brian and all these guys, when we used to go to the different seminars, and we all learned about the, I'll sell your home or I'll buy it for cash, the guaranteed sale program. And a lot of people are really intimidated by that until you understand that you make the rules, right? You make the guidelines for all of these programs. So at the end of the day, I guess my message is whatever marketing you're going to do, whether it's, calling expired listings, calling for sale by owners, doing direct mail, knocking on doors, you have to have something more than just saying, hi, my name's Matt and I'm an agent and I can sell your house. It's got to be something that is different and that resonates. What's in it for the seller or the buyer? I'm just resuscitating a buyer program that I did for years that I actually kind of forgot about, which is, we have a buyer satisfaction guarantee that when you buy a home through us, if you're not 100%, happy with that house, we'll buy it back or sell it for free within 18 months. That's a great program for buyers, right? Because that's, your money back. So I think no matter what kind of lead generation, I'm sure everybody on this call is going to have lots of great lead generation, ways to generate leads, but you have to have something unique to present to people. And it really can be anything, but it's just got to be something, right? So when I started doing, I'll finish up because I know there's a lot of people on the call, but back when I started doing TV ads, I thought that I had to do, I'll sell your home in X amount of days or I'll buy it for cash. And then I realized that that's not necessarily the best pitch, and it doesn't have to be that. It's just got to be something that makes you different, some sort of a guarantee that sets you apart. So that I'll leave it with that.
Maddie, how's the sell your house without listing going? I know you had that going for a while.
People like that because, and I was told by my California broker, that they didn't want me to use that terminology, sell without listing. So now I just say, I'll sell your home in one weekend. And it's pretty straightforward how we do that. It just means, when I talk to prospects about that, I say, I'll tell you exactly what we do. We market your house for about a week and a half to 2 weeks with no showings, or it could be a week or whatever with no showings. We market it, here in San Diego. We market it all over the world, frankly, through our global luxury program. And we funnel all the showings into one day or one weekend if we can't accommodate them. And like say on one Saturday, then we'll do it Saturday and Sunday. And the benefit is number one, it's the best way to generate multiple offers, because instead of getting a trickle of showings over the span of a week or a week and a half, we get all the showings funneled into one day or one weekend, which means we have much better chance of generating multiple offers. We generate, an auction-like atmosphere on your home. And then once we have multiple offers, our goal is to ratchet up the price. And literally, and then I explain how I handle multiple offers, which is different than the way most agents handle multiple offers. We literally go back and forth and ratchet up the price until we have one person that's willing to pay the most, and everybody else says, "Look, I'm out. I can't go that high." And then we get our really great high offer, and we get everything that we want in that offer, which is, maybe it's as is, subject to the buyer's home inspection. It's all contingencies removed in 7 days, all the things that we want, a rent back, etc. And not only do we get that perfect first offer, but guess what? Then we can get a backup offer or two. And that way, if our primary offer decides to try to renegotiate the deal while we're in escrow, we say, look, we've got a backup offer. We got two backup offers. We're not going to play that game. So I think that's a really strong pitch, because not only is it the best way to get them the most amount of money, but it's also really convenient. Nobody wants to have their house, unless the house is vacant, nobody wants to be dealing with showings day after day after day and having to keep the house in show condition, and they got kids and they've got pets and so forth. So I think that's a really good pitch, but so is I'll sell your house at your price, or I'll pay you the difference. Because that makes the nice.
Expand on that, Maddie. Expand on that one.
So
a lot of people have questions on that.
So that one, again, you make the guidelines, right? So number one, I'm going to go to you, Pete. I'm going to come out and meet with you, and we're going to talk when I have you in person. And obviously, I'm going to figure out a realistic price that I can sell your house for, and I'm going to explain to you we're going to come to an agreement on the price. If you want this guarantee, we're going to come to an agreement on what is a realistic price. And a lot of times when I've gone on appointments where that's the pitch, I get out to their house and we talk about the best way to bid up the price of their home and get the absolute highest price is not by listing it up here. It's actually by listing it here, maybe even a little bit below market, because then we're going to get multiple offers and bid up the price, right? But with that said, so it keeps you, a guarantee like that keeps you honest, because you're not going to take an overpriced listing. And then, the way that works at the end of the day, let's just say, God forbid, I tell you I'm going to get you $1 million, I'm going to pay you the difference, and it sells for $990. Okay, yeah, I'm going to credit you. I'm not going to cover it over my commission, right? So if I'm making 30 grand on $1 million listing, right? Yeah, if I only get you 990,000, I'm going to kick you 10 grand. If God forbid I only got you 970, I would end up doing it for free. I would forfeit my $30,000 commission, and it's not going to be anything out of pocket. But you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to cover it up to the extent of my commission. But that really rarely happens, because when you take listings like that, it keeps you honest, and you don't take overpriced listings. And let's face it, you're not going to make any money if you take an overpriced listing in the first part, right? You're gonna end up doing it for free because the friggin' house is not going to sell. And
Right.
you could set that guarantee, that program, any way you wanted it. You could say, I pay the difference up to 50% of my commission. So, you set the guidelines for all of these programs. But the important thing is to set yourself apart. Don't just be spouses selling houses, or, call Matt the secret agent, or whatever these silly slogans are, call Matt and start packing, etc. You've got to make something unique, and something that is, like Brian Moses always said, every buyer or seller listens to the same radio station, which is, what is it? WIFM. What's in it for me?
WII. Yep. What's
Yeah.
in it for me? So do you have all these programs in writing that you use? Do you put them all in writing?
Yeah, I do. I do. I'd have to dig them up. I don't have them right here, but I would have to dig them up, and maybe I'll put them in the Tribe University or something. But you
That'd
can
be great.
most of these programs, Pete, honestly, I guarantee you, because most of these I didn't make up. I mean, selling one weekend, there's no paperwork to do.
Yeah.
The one I make, sell your home at your price, or I'll pay you the difference. It could just be as simple as I just said. I'll pay the difference up to X amount of my commission, or up to my commission amount. It doesn't have to be super complicated.
I love that. All right, good stuff. Maddie's coming out swinging in the new year. I like that. We're going to go to our newest member, Tracy Fellow, the Fellow Luxury Group out of LA. Tracy, what are you guys doing in the new year to really drive leads and lead generation?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that we are adamant about following up with all of our past clients, and then adding a little value in it, like where our interest rates right now. So if they have people who are buyers, just giving them a little bit of our knowledge, so they remember that we're not just selling houses, we actually are a resource going forward. So we're definitely doing that. Really, as we make new connections, we've got people in our neighborhood who are agents to some of the NBA players. We've got a young kid at college who's really connected with the Chargers. So, he says, hey, I can introduce you to this person. So we just talk to everybody is what we do. Also, we've been using ChatGPT to formulate who our clientele is, to get us ahead of the game and knowing what we're going to be sending out on Instagram in the next 6 weeks, 6 months, and out. And those are programs that we learned through EXP, just really immersing ourselves in everything that EXP has to offer, and knowing how to have ChatGPT speak in our voice. So been finding that really valuable. And we've been working all through December. I find that when others aren't working, we keep working. So I haven't really stopped except for Christmas Day. I really want to say that we believe in talking to everyone and making sure that when you talk to someone and you meet someone new, that you get their contact information. Hey, I want to add you to our wealth building weekly update that we send to all of our other investors. Want to keep you kind of going and letting you know what's happening. What's your best email address? So never leave without getting their information, because what if they forget to call you or something to that effect? Also want to say that we want to make sure that we always think about that we're just making a friend. Whether we're calling a FSBO, whether we're calling an expired, whatever we're doing, the mindset is that we're calling to make a friend, not to, hi, can we sell your house? Because we find out that human to human relationships matter the most. So how can we become connected to that individual? And then finding out who they are ahead of time if you can. I Google some names and find out what school they went to, or do they like to cook, or what is it their thing that maybe we can connect with. The other thing I wanted to say is that I do a lot of lead generation for expireds and probate. So I get probate leads the night before. I go through them really quickly. I find out which ones I need to call, and then I'm ready the next morning. And I always find, for me, being first matters, because when I start to follow with that same lead again within however many weeks we agree with, hey, Tracy, you didn't tell me I was going to get 100 calls. I said, well, feel free to let them know that you already have an agent that you're working with. So I just believe in being first. And then lastly, oh no, I have two things. Those of you who, like, I'm new with EXP, I live vicariously on the at workplace, okay? So I am constantly on the referral and the California, what do you say, departments, or, you know,
groups.
The group, yes,
Yeah.
thank you, the group. And so I am clicking like a mad woman. And what I will tell you is that I have got 2 listing referrals from December to now. And I also got someone who has an open house in the Valley, which is great because I put a lot of clients in the Valley. And he's going away for like 3 months. He goes, Tracy, consider it yours. Whenever you want to do an open house, just do the open house. And it's a nice price point, and you know, just, you know, what you make of it. But I do want to give one piece of advice. When I was reaching out to the person offering the referral, the thing they liked the most about me was that I followed their instructions. Because I always figure that that's the first test. If they say DM, DM. If they say email, email. So I emailed them, or however they requested. Then I follow up and say, I've already emailed you. Here's a little bit about myself. Please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in speaking with me. And that's how I got both. Tracy, you followed instructions. So I employ everyone out there, you know, how you always talk about listen to what people say. That's your first test. Can you follow instructions? And then the last thing I will say is, this is what I believe in, my 3 F's. Follow up, follow back, follow through. You have to outwork everyone else. The average agent will call that one lead once. And then who, like me, I'm going to do it, you know, 6, 7 times. I'm sure the panel can attest to how many times it actually takes to get someone to pick up or follow up. But you have to, until they die or they tell you to go away, then I suggest you stay. So
That's
I
awesome.
think that's what
Great
I have for
stuff.
you.
I love it. Great tips. Again, our newest member, and she's coming in hot in 2024. And, you know, in the immortal words of Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. So you got to be first.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to Brian Moses. He's parted the Red Sea of real estate. Brian Moses, one of the top coaches in the United States. Brian, what do you have for unique lead generation for all the people out there who are saying, how do I kick off my production in 2024?
Well, I love what Matt said, and Tracy as well. It's great to meet you, Tracy. I love what Matt said about being unique, different. And I want to emphasize that. Don't be like everyone else. There's 1.8 million realtors in North America, and most of them are doing the same crap. And you have a real huge opportunity to be unique, to be compelling, to be beneficial, to speak to your prospect, you know, put yourself in their shoes and create bait. Like marketing is like fishing. You know, in order to catch a fish, you need bait. So what is your bait? And if you're, if the fish knows that there's a hook, it's not going to bite the bait. So good marketers create curiosity to get buyers and sellers to call and say, tell me more. What does that mean? And really, really good marketers create marketing messages that the competition can't answer. For example, sell your home without listing it. If somebody saw my ad and they have a friend who's a hairdresser that they were going to list their house with, and they said, hey, can you sell my house without listing it? That hairdresser, part-time agent's going to go, what are you talking about? Which means the prospect is going to call me to find out what this is all about. So good marketing penetrates the public. So with that being said, I have a lot of different messages. What I wrote down, I wanted to go a different direction, is as I look at real estate agents all over the country, their signage is a huge opportunity to differentiate yourself. So I would encourage everybody listening is to say, okay, next week, I'm going to spend 3 hours and I'm going to really dial in my signage system. We all have a for sale sign and there's no differentiation. Coldwell Banker has for sale signs, Remax, Keller Williams, EXP has for sale signs. I want you to be obnoxious. I want you to demonstrate through your actions that you are a marketing expert. So when I have a for sale sign, I have 4 sign riders, 3 hanging from the bottom sign, the for sale sign, and 1 on the top. And it isn't, I heart my realtor. We've all seen those, right? I heart my realtor. I love my realtor. That's not a compelling message. The purpose of marketing is to get the phone to ring. So here's some sign riders that you can order. They're $10 a piece. They're cheap. Buy a half a dozen of them and put them on every one of your listings that are applicable. So low down payment is a good one. Special financing is a good one. Open every day call for times is a good sign rider. Not by appointment only. That's not a good message. It's going to be by appointment, right? We're spending money on sign riders. NAR does a lot of good things, but they do a lot of things that are stupid and asinine, and they sell these sign riders at their conventions that, beautiful inside. Knock that shit off. Let's be unique and different, and let's get people to call. Hey, I'm in front of your house. It says open every day. Can I see it? If, I'm here now. What time's it open? And now I've got a lead because of that $10 message. Or special financing, what's that all about? Or low down payment, how low is the down payment? Another one, so those are 3 for the bottom, another one at the top, home sold to the highest bidder. Hey, what's the deal with that? Yeah, the house is listed for $749,900. It's priced really competitively. It's open for inspection anytime you want to see it. When would you like to see it? So signage, huge opportunity for everybody. We can all do a better job at that. I would love to be in my travels driving through Philadelphia next week and see Craig Lurch's obnoxious signage when I see Craig next Friday. When I come to Nashville to see Pete's obnoxious signage. Multiple signs is the second part. So 4 sign riders per listing. Because you're not only attracting leads, you're demonstrating to the neighbors that you know what the hell you're doing. And they have a choice. They can list it with their hairdresser who puts a for sale sign up, or they can see that you know what the hell you're doing. Brochure boxes on every signpost. And on the back of the listing sheet, I have marketing messages. Because not only one person can buy this house. So put marketing messages, other unique offers, driving traffic to your website or to squeeze pages on the back of the feature sheet. And, you know, you might have Tracy Fellows 5-star real estate programs on the back of the feature sheet. And the 5-star programs for buyers are, you know, get instant real-time access to the hottest deals in Los Angeles, including, you know, oceanfront, golf course, or whatever your target audience is. Seller programs, find out what your home is worth instantly. That's on the back of my feature sheet that's in a brochure box. And I also have the sellers let me know when the brochure box is empty. You live at the house. If the brochure box gets empty, we'll have our courier go out and fill it up. But we manage that. So that's a huge opportunity to generate leads. We'd get on average 50, 75, 100 leads on every one of our listings because we're not just putting up a for sale sign. The other thing you can do is a second or a third sign. So you've got the main sign that I described. What about a second sign? You know, for big, like a bandit sign, not in a frame, but just inexpensive disposable signs that you can put on your listings. You know, for additional information on this house, visit this URL or text 55122 to this number. And those are lead capture systems. Or another sign that says, buy this home and we'll buy your home for cash. So signage is huge. I could go on about that. I'd like to talk about open house signage. What do you do when you do an open house? Open from 1 to 4. Let's stop doing 3 and 4 and 5 hour open houses. Let's get everybody there at the same time to create a traffic jam on the street. So the neighbors who go, what the hell's going on? Somebody die at the Johnson's house? No, Tracy's having an open house. Wow, she's pretty good. Look at all those cars. So I would do a 45-minute to an hour open house. That's it. We, you know, back in the day, and we can talk about this in a minute if time permits, or we can come back to it. We used to do a tour of homes where we'd show 6 homes and they're only open for 10 minutes. And people could come to one or all the homes on the tour. But the more offers you have, the more unique you are, the more outrageous and innovative you are, the faster your business will grow, and it can be instant. So back to the open houses, I'd have 3 flags, those 12, 14-foot flags on the side of the driveway. I'd have 2 A-frame signs, one with a buyer message, one with a seller message. I'll find it and I'll pull it up and I'll share my screen with you before the call concludes, so that I'm not spending time looking for it. But one is, you know, hey, for a free list of properties in the greater Los Angeles area, scan this QR code. So the people leaving the open house that I didn't convert see a compelling marketing message and now they're back in my system. Or a seller message, you know, sell your Los Angeles home without listing it for sale, scan the QR code. And then my signage for open houses wouldn't be generic, wouldn't be traditional. It would be home sold to the highest bidder, because that's what we do anyway. Open for inspection 11 to 12 on Saturday. And I'd leave that sign up all week, and I would have directionals that didn't say home for sale. My directionals would say home sold to the highest bidder this way. And then they drive and they'd be like, you know, home, what's that all about? They call me before Saturday and I say, would you like to see it before Saturday? I can make arrangements to show you the house before Saturday if you want to get a jump start on it. And then I double end my own listing. So those are some ideas on signage. I'll find some examples. And before we conclude the call, if you come to me, I'll share my screen and I'll show you what it looks like.
I love it. Look at just parting the Red Sea of real estate. I like it. Brian Moses making it happen. We're going to move on to our fearless leader, and the godfather of internet leads, Mitch Riback. Mitchy, what are you doing to generate leads right now at the beginning of the year? What can people do to really get into production instantaneously?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Tracy, great to have you on. Had a great call to you last week. Brian, awesome stuff. And by the way, before I start, I'm going to try to be fairly quick because I have to be out of here personally in 7 minutes because I have a doctor's appointment because they want to shave my head today. So the first thing, you're going to hear lots of great stuff, and we're going to continue this. This is going to be a continuation next week because we're not going to finish this today. I could literally talk for an hour just on this subject myself personally. I know Brian, we all could, right? And this might be a 3-part series. I don't know. We're going to go because I think it's really important that everybody understands we're only in one business. We're in the lead generation business. That's it. You're not in any other business, and you got to get. I ask that question when I speak out, and I'm doing classes or speaking in front of people. What business are we in? We're in the people business. We're in the relationship business. No, you're not. You're in the lead generation business. Because if you have no leads, guess what? You don't have people to talk to. You have no relationships. So I'm going to talk about one thing today. I'll do more next week. But I want everybody that is your phone, take out your phone right now. Everybody on this call. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you, Carrie there. Yep. You, David. Yep. Diane. Yep. Take out your phones. Go to your contacts. And I want you to scroll up. If you get an iPhone, scroll to the bottom. If you have an Android, I believe it's at the top. And I want you to type in the chat how many contacts you have in your phone. And you have to do it quickly because I only got a few minutes to talk today. And we're definitely gonna do this a few parts because there's so much. This is such good content for everybody. All right, I'm not gonna wait for people to do it, but I have 2,000 in my phone, and I'm gonna tell you what. There's one 4,700 with Craig. All right, 6,500 with Heidi. And by the way, when you're making posting it, make sure it's to everybody, not the panelists, because nobody else can see your stuff. Brian 2,500, Diane 30, Peg 2,700. All right, so this is awesome. I love this. So here's the stat: 7 out of 100 of your contacts are going to buy or sell a home this year. That's the National Association of Realtors stat on database marketing, right? Nobody works their database, so everybody's out chasing new leads, like looking for the squirrel, like I do, right? And all you have is this. Now, how do you work that? You have to actually go by, why do people use you as a realtor? Now I hear this when I say that, I'll hear it from my crowd. I'll say, well, because they trust me, they love me, they know me, blah, 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 blah. No, not true. Everybody knows 20 of us. We're like cockroaches. We're everywhere, right? Everybody knows us. So why does people use it? Because you happen to be in front of them when they're thinking about buying or selling. That's it. How could I come in as a brand new agent 22 years ago, and sell 36 homes my first year? If everybody was loyal to their agents, I could never have done that, right? Not feasible, right? So I want you to think about this. This is a project. And by the way, most people don't do this, which is why 86% of realtors fail. Is if you talk to all the best realtors in the world, you know what they only do is their sphere, right? The people that are selling 7,500, and by the way, people like Matt, he works his sphere, he looks at his neighborhoods, he's doing his TV, that's his marketing. But most people, the whole reason of his marketing is to capture leads to get into his sphere. I mean, that's the whole purpose, right? So I want you to think, if you go into your phone and export your leads, right, your database there. And by the way, you know more people than just on your phone. You have Facebook, you have all this stuff. And I want you to do this. I want you to reach out to every single person. This is a project. Reach out to every single person, and I want you to text them this. Hey, Brian, Happy New Year. I'm just updating my database. What's your email address? Now, I just did this with one of my coaching students. She had 1,200 contacts. She got 800 email addresses by doing that in 2 weeks. 800, right? Again, Brian, you're just posting to, okay, I go, you don't, never mind. Anyway, so my point is, start working what you already have. Open houses is great for instant business, but one of my agents just did this, and I'm going to give you some numbers. One of my agents just did this in her first 90 days, got 6 listings and 4 buyers by working her space. She only had 450 contacts with email addresses. 6 listings and 4 buyers. Think about that. That's life-changing for almost everybody on this call in 3 months. Work your sphere, build a business, because most of us aren't building a business. You're building a crappy job. And if you build a business, you don't have to work 100 hours a week. You can do this in 30, 40 hours a week, 25 hours a week, and have an amazing life while, and if you know me, I'm all about chasing freedom and not chasing money, right? That's my words for this year. It is making you efficient in your business. You all post out ridiculous numbers there. 7 out of 100 contacts are going to buy or sell a home this year. And your only job every day, and I'll end on this, your only job every day is to keep adding to that database, whether it be through marketing like Matt's doing, or Brian's teaching, or how how I did it. This is really, really confusing and tough. I go to the line, whatever line of store I'm in, I go to the longest line and I go, hey, how you doing today? Right. And I say just like that, except I don't think I go like that. And then they say, great or good. Very once in a while you'll get, oh, my life sucks. And I just kind of turn away from that person. Like, mine's awesome, sorry. And then they'll say to you every single time, how's your day going? Oh, I'm in the real estate business, it's crazy. And every single time they say, how's the market? Every single time, right? Oh, it's a little bit crazy. One of the things I do for my friends is I send them a market update every month. And would you like me to do that for you? Boom. 80% of those people say yes. Some people say no, but 80% say yes. You just added a person. I just met with one of my agents this morning on coaching, and I said, look, your job is to add one person a day to your database. If you do that, that's 360 people a year, right? By one person a day. And you do that, you're out. And by the way, if you're sitting home doing social media, get the hell out of your house. You're not selling homes sitting in your house. And anyways, I gotta go to the doctor's appointment, but your database, your phone has more business than you'll ever need the rest of your life. Stop chasing shiny objects and just add one person a day to your database. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Okay, all right, we're going to go from Mitch. That was great stuff. You got to get out there, you guys. If you're standing in the grocery line, talk to people. The bank line, talk to people. If you're at your hairdressers, talk to people. I mean, I was on the operating room getting my knee operated on. I talked to the nurses and I got a listing. Right? I was high on drugs, I think, but it still worked out when I came out of the recovery. Okay, so we're gonna jump to Cam because I can barely see him. He's still wearing his sunscreen. He's up in the mountains, so he's blending in with the snow. Make sure nobody runs into you on those slopes. So Cam, give me 3 minutes, the best lead generation ideas in 2024. Go ahead.
3 minutes. First off, Tracy, welcome. It's great to see you. Great to meet you. Happy New Year, everyone. I didn't heard anyone. Happy New Year. It's a big deal. Make sure you're psyched about it. Your energy's up. Real quick though. So for finding unique selling propositions, like everybody's been talking about, right? Let's use some technology to do that. I heard Tracy earlier talking about using ChatGPT, right? Well, let's use ChatGPT to come up with some unique selling propositions from the buyer's perspective or the seller's perspective, okay? How you do that is you're gonna go into ChatGPT. For those that use it, I'm gonna give you a real quick example or breakdown. Jump into ChatGPT and write out, what you're targeting, I am a millennial, single parent that's moving to Tennessee. What are my biggest challenges, right? Wherever you might be moving. And it's going to list what it believes are the biggest challenges for that demographic. And you can do this for everyone, you guys. Looking for, retirees. I'm looking for business people. I'm looking for youth. Whatever your target is, put it into ChatGPT. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry. Put it into ChatGPT, right? And then it will come up with some very unique selling propositions that you can use and create. But the important part is that you're asking the AI from a buyer's perspective or from a seller's perspective. Unlike every other realtor that's out there that goes, I'm a realtor, what are some things people want to hear? And that's what they ask, and it gives them some things. Instead, though, flip that around, come from the buyer's or the seller's perspective, and that's going to allow you to get inside their minds. You guys, ChatGPT these days, it's creepy because it really will tell you what people are thinking, what they're doing, because it searches everywhere in the world, and it's going to give you some stuff just like Brian. Brian, those were unbelievable USPs, right? It gets people to go, what does that mean? Well, I got to call him. Well, guess what? If you can't come up with those, or you're on a kind of a block, use ChatGPT, use the AI, use our technology to break through that. Number 2 is sphere of influence, like Mitch was just saying. Get on your phone, call everybody. I had an agent that just joined us here on the 8th of December last month, so about 30 days ago. 0 pendings, no business, about to go out of business. And I said, go into your Facebook and go into your phone and literally just talk to everybody. He has 6 pendings, you guys. 6 pendings in under 30 days, literally from just talking to people that he's a realtor, he's looking for business, he's out there, and they would have never known that. Third is our workplace referral group. Tracy, you brought this up. I can almost guarantee anyone on this call that if you spend all of your time on the workplace referral group, or you spend some time on there every day, you will have at least 5 to 10 sales every year. It's incredible, you guys. You leverage almost 100,000 agents around the country that are looking for people to help them in your area. So make sure you're using the referral network. And then my biggest one that for right now business, Lead Gen 2024, it's going to be doing builder open houses. So if you have new construction in your area, you need to reach out to those builders and explain to them that you work with a team, a nationwide team, and you got this group going in. That's us, right? We're the nationwide team, and you're a hotshot, you're doing stuff. But one thing that you're seeing is that you want to help them sell more homes. And right now, builders are slow, you guys. Like we got, Lennar, D.R. Horton, Adams Homes down here. They got 12, 15, 20 homes that are just sitting fully completed. So what we've done for them, for our local team, is, hey, can we do open houses at your builder opens? And they love it. They absolutely love it. Plus, you guys, right now, Adams Homes down here and D.R. Horton, they're offering 5% co-brokes. So you're almost double siding it. You get open houses. You can sit on them any day you want because they're completely open. Use the stuff Brian was saying. Have those big flags. Have those obnoxious signs. Have your sign-in sheet so when people come in, you get their contact info. But use the builders and use their standstill inventory for your advantage, and it's going to make you really stand out. You can also do that if you're specifically targeting a neighborhood in your farm, right? If you really are looking for one neighborhood, go to that builder, explain to them, hey, we're doing ads, we're running ads for your community. Can I also do an open house in one of your models or one of your, completed homes? We down here in South Florida, you guys, we have had almost no pushback on that. And then when you do that, you guys, and you get that okay to do that open house, you have to do door knocking. Go around to the 20 or 30 or however many doors you can hit with your feet. Give them your sheet. And then on the back of that sheet, not only does it have property info, but on the back of it, it needs to have everything Brian was saying. It needs to have all of your unique selling propositions. It needs to have all of your, this is why you should list with me. We're not doing these open houses, honestly, at least I don't. I don't do these open houses in the attempt to sell that specific home. I'm doing these open houses in the attempt to take over the entire neighborhood. And we do that by canvassing. So open houses, we send out we're doing an open house this weekend letter, plus the door knocking that has another letter, plus they see all of our signs, plus. And we are just overloading them, like Brian was saying, with, hey, we got an open house coming up this weekend. Plus, you guys, if you don't have builders in your area, we have team members, we have EXP agents, or if you're not with EXP yet, we have agents at whatever brokerage that you're at that have listings. Do the same thing for them. Offer to do an open house at their listing and then canvass the entire neighborhood because they're not doing that. And I guarantee if you do that, you guys, you will have multiple pendings in the next 30 or 45 days. So that's my 3-minute speech.
Awesome. Cam Sunscreen Smith. I love it. All right, let's jump over to Karina. Karina, what are you doing in 2024 to drive leads? Give me your best 3 minutes. We're going to feature you guys next week too, so we give you a little more time. But I want to fit in Karina and Lurchi and Brian Yarber. Go ahead. Well, first, we can't hear you, so you would have to unmute or we have to do something to get you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, excellent.
Perfect.
Happy New Year. Welcome, Tracy. Happy to have another female on the panel. So thank you. So a lot of stuff that has been said, I'm not going to repeat. There's a lot of things that Cam and Matt, and Brian and Mitch have all said that we're doing. But I will talk about something very simple that everybody should be doing is sending out 2 different letters right now this week. One should be a Happy New Year letter to every person that you have an address for, past clients, current clients, vendors, other realtors. Send it to everybody. The realtors is because they may like what you're doing and it may be a very easy part to bring them over to your team or within EXP because nobody sends other realtors the letters that they send to their clients. And the other is everybody should be printing out, if you haven't done it already, the closing statement for every one of your past sales last year, because they did get them in digital copy, but they're not going to find it. It's a different letter that you're going to send to them, asking them at the end for referrals. I ask for referrals on all my letters that go out. And I'm a heavy referral agent, a lot of repeat customers, and most of my clients are not new. They're either repeat clients or they've been referred in from a client or a sphere. So you want to send out a hard copy of that closing statement and a really nice letter asking them how they're doing. Do they need anything on the house? Are they having issues with plumbing? I'm sorry. And so, for that, you want to really drive that home. You will end up with several opportunities by sending out those 2 letters. And if you've noticed something on my lap, we did adopt a new baby girl on New Year's Eve, a little black rescue kitten. And unfortunately, our 18-month-old rescue cat from last Christmas is trying to kill her. So she's staying here for safety this week.
There you go.
But those 2 are really good things for you to do. And it's a great, easy way to touch your sphere. And if you're missing stuff, go back to what Mitch said. And also, you do what he said with telling them that you need their mailing address or an email address or whatever, and you can pump through a lot of your contacts quickly that way.
And you guys, if you didn't have a ton of closings last year, let's say you had 10 or 8, don't get overwhelmed. Print out the settlement sheets and drive to the person's house and hand it to them and ask them how they're doing and how their New Year's going and how do they like the house and who do they know wants to move in the neighborhood. You have to be proactive. You can't sit on your hands and sit on your ass and be passive and think that the business is going to come to you. You have to go get the business and you have to generate the business.
There's one more thing, Pete, is that everybody should be posting videos all over every social media platform. You can record it once on Facebook Live, download it, and put it on your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your whatever you're on. If you're only on one, then leverage it. YouTube, if you don't have a YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you start doing stuff on YouTube. A lot of leads will be generated from doing advertising on your social media this year. And if you're not already doing advertising on Facebook, you should definitely be doing it. And the second is the more they see you on more socials, the more they'll realize that you're an industry expert. And they will be calling you. They're the easiest calls I get is the ones that follow me on social media, other than my past clients.
I love it. I love it. All right, Lurchy, we're on to you. My brother from another brother in Philly, the ROG, the Real Estate Opportunity Guy, 2024. What's the opportunities for lead gen? Go ahead.
Tracy, welcome. Love you. Glad to see you here. All right, real quick. Every action has a reaction. I'm not going to repeat what everybody said. Bottom line is if you're standing still, you're not moving anywhere. You're dead. You're not going forward or backwards. So every action has a reaction in life's chemistry. Figure out how to focus for the next 90 days. If you knew you had to pay for a family's organ transplant in 90 days, how are you going to find that money and assume you have none? What's that focus going to look at and how hard are you going to fight? Number 2, heard this through Sherry Harris, who's part of our group. Listen to this. She's the Integrity Group down in Florida and Cape Coral area, has been with EXP for 15 months. I conned her first year. Team did 30 million, has only been in the business 3 years. You know what it is? They became that a guy, that a girl. They want to be the people that they come to. Who's the plumber? Who's the contractor? Matt talked about it. Be that person. And the more referrals you give, then what we call it in Philly is the thumb. You go to them and say, hey, look, I'm feeding you a lot of business. I need some love on my side. So you don't get unless you ask. And the next thing is do what is pick up that phone. The phone works both ways. I just got challenged by Brian. I don't have those signs. I'm blessed. Brian's coming in. He's in town doing another speaking thing. He's going to be at my house in my office with everybody on Friday the 12th. And guess what? I just got double dog dare to go get those signs. So right after this, I'm going to go out and get out of the ROG's old way and do these new things. So I've challenged you guys to go do the same. Get out of your own way and stop doing what you did and start doing what you're going to go moving forward. That's the machine gun.
I love it, Lurchy. Hey, listen, don't stick your tongue on a frozen pole down there in Philly, okay? Let's go over to Brian Yarber. Brian Yarber,
Hasn't been that
give me
cold.
your fast 3 minutes on the best lead gen for 2024.
All right. Again, Tracy, welcome. We've already traded a few discussions earlier today, and Happy New Year, everybody. This is going to be really quick. I do two things every year to ensure I have a good book of business all year round. Two are, one, I always send a Christmas card to anybody who I've done a transaction with in the last year and all of my past clients who are what I call my top 100. I just do that every year. They've seen me go from no kids to grandkids. I send a card every year like clockwork. Second thing I do is I share my outcomes. My outcomes are this. I attach myself to my client's outcome. I've never sold a house. I pride myself on representing sales in over 52 zip codes in Southern California. I share those wins annually with my top people. What it does is it ensures that I'm going to get phone calls and repeat customers from every area. So 52 zip codes, you guys, in Southern California. I've done deals in Palm Springs, Santa Barbara, all throughout LA, all throughout San Diego. And when I share that, what it does is it reminds them, oh yeah, I just had a client while we're in this meeting who has a house I sold them 15 years ago in Cardiff, which is a coastal town, hit me up just now that says, hey, Brian, we're looking at buying a house in Idlewild. It's like 90 minutes away from Cardiff. But they hit me up and it's like clockwork. Every year I get multiple clients that way. I can now pick and choose. Do I want to work with them in the price point, or do I want to find a referral or some boots on the ground in the area? I love that because what that does is it keeps me connected with all my marketplaces. I love to drive to Palm Springs. I typically go out there, preview property in one day, and I'll show another if it's a good buyer. And I get around to Golf Inn and I'll do some fun stuff out there because I love the restaurants. If it's a listing appointment, then a lot of times what I'll do is do the same thing. I'll go out the day before, do all my previewing, really hunker down, and then use what Matt said. I love what Matt said. And that is I'm the same way. I like to get everybody in there, typically only for an hour or two beforehand, do a coming soon, and make sure that my price point is a price point that's going to get bid up. I've got a listing appointment this afternoon with a guy who wants 1.3. I can only see 1,175,000 on his property. I'm going to have Matt, you just kind of tuned me up for this conversation today, and I'm going to do the same thing because it's a repeat client. And so I just love repeat. I love by referral, but most importantly, I've never sold a home. I've always just helped transfer ownership from one to another. And I attach myself to my client's outcome. And I don't share my wins like I'm bragging. I just celebrate the win with the client.
Love it. That's good stuff. And I'm going to touch upon that, you guys. Every single transaction has a marketable moment. Share that marketable moment or tell that story and make it about helping other people get what they want. And if you do that on video, people will really attach to it. I think too many times we focus on the results. Everybody loves to broadcast, oh, just sold, or I did this, or I did that. Market the experience that somebody had with you buying a house, the experience that somebody had with you selling their property or buying an investment property, or what the effect was of that experience. Market the experiences. I think that's the key to 2024. That's my quick Pete Knows Luxury tip. I usually don't charge for those. Every once in a while I do, but today that's a freebie because Brian Moses has inspired me. But listen, all you guys, I love all you. You guys are great. Tracy, so happy to have you on and part of our team and our real estate professional team and family. And listen, we're going to follow this up next week. We're going to start with these guys, give them a little more time on more lead generation. It'll give us time for everybody to decompress from the holidays and come out swinging. But invite people here. These are real ideas that you can put into action immediately to create production, and no other place you're going to get that. But guess what? You have to show up to get it. You have to schedule it in and show up. You have to do the work. Okay? So that's the key thing. But Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for collaborating. And everybody have a great week. Get out there and start swinging. Things are happening. Talk to you guys soon.
See you guys. Cheers.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Good seeing you.
Happy New Year.